So that last video, entry 3 that y'all saw, that was actually from a while back. I just recently uploaded it. And that's when I went to my parents' house and I brought the crawfish there. I kind of just spent a few nights there, and they had concerns about some weird stuff happening in their neighborhood, particularly this guy that had been wandering around their front yard and sometimes their backyard. And, you know, he was wearing like a tracksuit or a black hoodie and sweatpants or something like that. So I kind of was curious about it. I had my suspicions that it was just one of my friends pulling a prank, but you know how I am. I'm really creative and I kind of go the extra steps with everything, so I decided to try to get some footage. Now, the footage I got at first, it wasn't really noteworthy. It was just, you know, I set the camera up behind the window facing the front yard. It's a very low quality camera. I mean, you can see that from the footage. It's all I have right now. I do have an actual camcorder somewhere back at my parents' place, but I think it's in my room somewhere in the clutter, you know, hidden in my room somewhere. But yeah, I'm back at my place right now. This is, you know, my place. But yeah, my good camcorder is somewhere over there, and I just haven't had a chance to look for it. And so all I have handy lately is this crappy little Olympus camera. It's like an Olympus Fast and Easy or something. Very basic camera, very basic functions. The video quality is pretty bad. The actual still photo cameras, they're decent. They're like 12 megapixels, but the actual video quality on that camera is like VGA, which is like 640 by 480 resolution, you know. But it's all I had. I set up the tripod as you saw in that video, and starting right before sundown, I think I put the camera up around 6:30 or 7 o'clock ish, and I let it run till about 9 o'clock, because that's usually when my parents have said they've seen this guy snooping around. He starts snooping around right at sunset, you know, right when the sun goes down, and then he might stick around for a few hours. When the sun's actually down, he might kind of wander across the yard a few times, or it's not just our house, I don't think. I think he kind of like moves all around that neighborhood, but he seems to focus on coming back to our house and kind of looking in towards our windows, like he's trying to see who lives here, or trying to see when we leave our house, you know, in our cars, when we take the car out of the garage and leave the house, or when we come back, trying to maybe figure out our schedules or something. Or at least that's the perception he's trying to give. Because like I said, it might just be one of my friends and he's just trying to creep us out, or, you know, creep me out, basically. But yeah, basically, so I had that footage running, recording from 7 till 9-ish. You can see in the time lapse, I sped it up like 8 speed, I think. You can see slowly the sun starts going down, it starts getting darker, and a couple of times you'll see, actually 2 times, you'll see a figure walk across the screen, but it's really just, you see a dog, 2 dogs walk by, and then you'll see some legs walking behind them, and it's just, I think it's a lady that's just walking her dog. It's not really a big deal, you know. And that's like right before the sun sets, you see that. And then maybe an hour or 2 later, you'll see the same thing. You'll see some dogs and a person walking by, and it's not really a big deal. But just to be more thorough, I also set up a camera in the backyard. Now, unfortunately, since it's a crappy camera, it can't really pick up anything, and there's no lights on in the backyard or anything. So I kind of just face it towards the street, because they had told me that a lot of times they'll see him walking down the street towards our house. And I was like, well, if I'm going to get any footage, it's probably just going to be of him walking down the street towards my cul-de-sac, where all the houses are. I live in a cul-de-sac, or my parents live in a cul-de-sac, and there's all these houses arranged in a circle around the street. And that's kind of where he likes to hang out a lot. He'll come down, he'll walk a lap around the cul-de-sac, then he'll kind of wander across our front yard, and then he might go into our backyard and kind of walk back and forth a few times in there. So in their back balcony, I set up the tripod and camera there too, and I started just recording, and then I went to bed. And just left the camera on. Now the only thing is that camera, I think it can really only take maybe 2 hours of video, so there's not that much, time to take footage. But within that time frame, I did capture someone walking down the street, kind of walking in the middle of the street. You see him slowly, bloop, 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 walking down towards my house, and you can't really make out much because it's nighttime. The camera does not have a night mode, and it's pretty low resolution, and it's very, very far away. It's pretty much in the distance. So all you see is this black stick figure just walking, just kind of slowly getting closer towards our house. He's in the distance, but it's just really just like a dark shadow. It could be just some normal guy that likes to take walks at, I think it was more like midnight, to be honest. But it just could be that. I mean, I've seen that before. I've seen a lot of stuff in my neighborhood. Nothing really wrong with it. People just walk around and do what they want to. And it's not really a bad neighborhood either. But it did get a little suspicious. Like I said, the way he was walking, it was very slowly, very deliberately. And he was walking right in the middle of the street. And then about 20 minutes into it, in the footage you can see I kind of sped up the footage to kind of pass the time, but after a while, you can hear from the camera, you can hear what sounds like a gate opening, or you hear some kind of banging noise, or a crashing noise, or some kind of thump noise. I don't know, something like that. And it kind of sounds like our backyard gate opening, so he can walk in. But then, and then after about 10 minutes after that, you hear some footsteps, which sounds like he's walking on a little concrete pathway in the backyard, and it kind of sounds like he's walking on it, and then leaves. But you can't see anything because the actual backyard, the camera is kind of focused back into the to the left, focus on the street, because the street is lit up by the street lights. But the actual backyard itself is completely black because you can't see anything. So you can just hear it. And I made note of that in the video. I put the caption of the possible sound of the gate closing and the sound of the footsteps as he leaves the backyard. Now, this footage would not have been suspicious if it were just the dark figure walking down the street. That's not really a big deal. It's just the following sound of, someone coming into our backyard afterwards, and then the footsteps. So that made me a little bit concerned. I've been trying to call my friend Tom, because I still think this is him doing this as a prank. So I've been trying to call him, but I know he's always busy with school, or he's going to classes all the time, and he's not very good at returning calls or text messages. But I'm trying to get in touch with him and talk to him about if he's just messing with me and my family. I think he is. I think it's him. His just idea of a joke. But I'm gonna try to talk to him again today and see if I can get him to just admit what he's doing. But other than that, it's not really a big deal. In fact, that might be him right now calling, but I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I'll show you in a bit some more footage of like still shots, where I've circled the figures that appear in the video. And like I said, the first video just has pictures of a lady walking her dog. Not really a big deal. But the second set of pictures is going to be of the figure, and I'll have it circled in red so y'all can take a look at it. And I'll try to zoom in a little bit so you can look at it. All right. Thanks again for watching my video, and hopefully I'll figure all this crap out soon.